Well, hello there. Another hello there, and another hello there to all you wisdom walkers. This is Jojo Maria and Saroma coming to you with astrology for self mastery for the first half of March 2025. Yes. It's been a time. It's been a time. And there was really a lot of amazing aspects, very powerful aspects that happened in February. But due to illness, I was not able to share them with you in this way. So I am planning before June, I'll say, to do them for you so that you can look back at that time of February and say, oh, yeah, now I understand more about why, this was happening, because it's pretty tumultuous. Pretty tumultuous. I was sick for most of February, starting at the end of January. So it was really a very big transitional time. And, that's what we're in. That's what we're going through right now. This month, according to the indigenous wisdom I keep, is considered a nature month. Yeah. And so coming out of a fire month of February, we're now in this nature month, and nature is all about change. It's all about shift. Of course, we're in the season for the springtime here in the northern hemisphere and the fall in the southern hemisphere to show up. So, just even in terms of the natural environment, we are going through a big shift. And so, of course, that's also happening to us at a personal level, at a collective level, at a global level. So I'm going to present to you the energies from the cosmos that are coming, that are here from March 1st to 15th to help you navigate through this so that you're doing what? Yeah, that you're really holding your center, that you're not giving yourself over to the fear, to the anxiety, to the crazy that is going on, but that you actually are able to very consciously stay in your self-mastery and make changes and choices and decisions that are going to benefit you, staying aligned with your higher purpose. Absolutely. So let's get started. I want to first acknowledge that we are in Pisces season, and to all the folks who reached out on Facebook, took time out of their busy schedules and lives to wish me a happy birthday on Monday, March 3rd. I am so, so grateful to you. I don't take that lightly. I think it's so important to be acknowledged by people that you're welcome on this earth plane, that you matter to them. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you all for sharing that. And that includes family, friends, and acquaintances and people that I've worked with in the past. So Pisces season, which of course I love being Pisces, it is this kind of time for us to really take in all of what has gone on since the last springtime, and to really give ourselves permission to say, oh, I've learned this. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I don't need that anymore. And I'm really clear about what it is that I'm wanting now, or at least I'm clear that there's something different that I'm wanting now. So it is that season because it's the end of the zodiacal wheel. It is the culmination of all the other astrological energies. And so it comes with this deep wisdom and this deep ability to be emotionally and spiritually intelligent, and to hold space and compassion for what is going on. So to all my fellow Pisces, happy birthday to you. And thank you for being on the planet at this time. Ashe. I also want to acknowledge that here in the United States, it's Women's History Month, and how important that is. Women did not get the right to vote in this country until I think it was 1928. And so, women's rights is still a thing, an important thing. And we're still in that process of becoming full citizens and being treated like we are human beings and not sexual objects. So happy Women's History Month, and make an effort to learn something new about a woman, a courageous woman in this country who made a difference, did something to make a difference so that other women can have access to their rights. Absolutely. And then on March 8th, we had International Women's Day, which is a global event. And again, give yourself permission to learn about some of the incredible women around the world who did amazing things and who are doing amazing things right now in countries where women are really relegated to just be sexual objects and to be, kind of secondhand to men. So, excuse me, thank you for that and for acknowledging that. I think it's really important. Let's stop for a second because I got a couple of comments I want to share. Oh, wonderful. Hey, Tracy, always a pleasure to have you here. Happy Women's Month and Women's Day. And she's Pisces too. Woohoo! Okay, girl, go on. Love it. Pisces are very powerful people. We have to know that because sometimes we forget, but we really are amazing. So let's start with Saturday, March 1st and see what was going on, which is a really powerful aspect. This is Venus going retrograde in Aries, and then it will go back into Pisces, which it just left. And all of this will take place between March 2nd, March 1st to March 2nd, into April the 13th. So we've got this full, almost a month and a half of this energy. And as it says here, there's no coincidence that Venus is retrograde for exactly 40 days. The number 40 is sacred in nearly every tradition and is usually associated with the fulfillment of promises, but only after a period of testing, trial, and reflection. Venus retrograde periods are especially important because they bring changes of heart and shifts in priorities. This is when we realign with what we truly want and finally make up our mind, or rather our heart, on important matters. Yeah, it's really cool. This is talking about, of course, initiatory energy, when we are being transformed from one way of thinking, being, and doing into another. And so this initiatory energy will be felt by all of us on the planet, but especially by women. Yeah. And there's some more information related to what's going on with Venus, because Venus only goes retrograde once every 2 years. Also, being in the sign of Aries, Aries is like the beginning of the zodiacal wheel. It's the first energy, right? It used to be a time when the new year really was with the equinox, with spring. Yeah, that's when the year started. When the ground is waking up, things are budding, or in the Southern Hemisphere, it was when things were shutting down. So they may have done it in the opposite direction. But the idea here is that this is about a new beginning. And so this energy of initiation is really, really powerful. So just take note of that and just notice any changes, any transformations that are happening where you are just feeling like you're being taken through an experience to get to know more of the truth of who you are and what your true higher purpose is. Yeah. And that's exciting. I love that. I'm glad that we're in this season, but it's a little challenging. But again, it's getting us connected to our hearts. Then we moved to Sunday, March the 2nd, and we had two aspects that I wanted to just quickly touch on because of what's coming on the 3rd, but it was a conjunction between Mercury and Neptune, both in the sign of Pisces. And this was about allowing ourselves to dream big. Put on your rose-colored glasses as you bask in the sun of possibility. This aspect will have us all feeling starry-eyed as we see the magic in the world around us. Keep your heart open, but don't lose your head. Yeah. And then also on March the 2nd, we had the sun in Pisces squaring Jupiter in Gemini. And this is one of the few opposing energies this month. There are actually no oppositions among planets this month. And I think only 2 or 3 squares. And this one says, while you may have pie in the sky dreams, try not to take on too many projects today, as you can easily become overwhelmed. That was me on Monday. Focus your energy on one project and give it your all. So again, just wanted to touch base on those 2 aspects for you, because on March the 3rd, we had a really significant one, which is about Mercury entering Aries. Yeah. As the planet of communication moves in and out of fiery Aries over the next several weeks, we may strongly feel the shift and embody that fiery, action-oriented energy. Our thoughts will become sharper, decisions faster, and words more direct. Also, our words can more easily become heated, so it will be more important than ever to think before you speak. Hot tempers can create unnecessary fear and unwanted consequences. Be confident, but not cocky. Yeah. So Mercury, too, has stepped into Aries. Again, this opening, this new beginning energy. And, Aries, too, is all about, okay, let's go. Here we go. My mama was an Aries, so it was like, yeah, the freight train coming down the street. And so what this is about is be conscious that there is that energy, but be very, very conscious of how you're using it. In other words, do it out of love, not fear. Yeah. Don't be into some contest or battle, trying to take revenge or get somebody back or control somebody, because it's not going to work. That's not how you want to go. You really, really want to remember the truth of who you are and use this energy of this sharp communication in a way that you will be received. That it will be received. Yeah, you don't want to, what's his name? And so it's going to be very interesting to have both Venus and Mercury in Aries at the same time. Both of them are also going to go back into Pisces, which is really interesting, right? And so just, again, these are 2 important personal planets. Venus is all about our heart. It's about our finances. It's about our safety. It's about our luxury. And then Mercury is all about our communication, both in how we give and how we receive it. So yeah, it's pretty interesting time. And like I said, I'm going to come back and I think I'll do quick 15-minute breakdown about the Venus energies, because she's going to go through her Kazemi, which means her death and rebirth in the sky. And all of that, again, carries some good information for us about, okay, this is why this is going out of my life, or this is why I lost that. This is why this no longer is working. Yeah. I'll be able to track that energy for you. Absolutely. Now we jump to Wednesday, March the 12th for the next significant aspect. And this is a conjunction between the Sun and Saturn, both in Pisces. Yeah, because we're very much in Pisces season. So the Sun-Saturn transits are rather sobering. It's akin to the moment when your manager calls you into their office, or the principal, right? Sun conjunct Saturn is a reality check, asking us to evaluate if we are on task with our goals. Are you living up to your potential? With Pisces as the energy field, if you have been being your best, All your hard work is finally going to pay off, as your wildest dreams can come true today. I'll repeat that. With Pisces as the energy field for the Sun and Saturn conjunction, if you have been being your best, meaning being obedient to the truth of who you are, all your hard work is finally going to pay off as your wildest dreams can come true today. This is a great time to embrace your powers and even a new image. Yeah, because of that Aryan energy of change that's going on in the retrograde. So again, a really powerful aspect. It can be choppy for some of us, but there's a lot of us for whom this is like, finally, finally. Yeah, it's going to feel like that. So take note. And again, remember, the aspects flow according to cosmic time. So it may hit the day before, it may hit now, and it can also hit time after. And the main thing is just to keep in mind that, you know, this is about really taking stock of, am I doing the right thing? And if you're not doing the right thing, there's going to be consequences. Yeah. So that's what that's talking about specifically. Now we go to the next day, Thursday, March the 13th, and we have this full moon coming up, but I want to remind you about a couple of energies that are going on that will help you really understand even more, or with your own intuition, just kind of connect some more dots about this process that we are going through. So back in January, we had the north node and the south node of the moon shifting into new signs. And the nodes are these invisible points from our perspective on the earth, looking out at the moon. And they're called nodes. And the north one carries the energy of our destiny, of our higher purpose, what we're really here for, our sacred contracts. And the south node represents our past and our karma. Like, what is it in our past that we need to heal, we need to resolve, we need to forgive, we need to let go. And so they are now in the signs of Pisces in the north and Virgo in the south. And this is a moon that is in Virgo, so we call that a conjunction with the moon and the south node of Virgo, or at least the energy of that south node is going to influence this moon energy, which is pretty powerful. So as I had shared previously, just letting you know, when you have a Pisces and a Virgo nodal pair, like we have now, it says here, we're drawn to go deeper beyond the obvious. We truly want to understand what's behind all this. We feel a deep longing for soul connection and a realization that we have a greater purpose waiting to be filled. We're drawn to adjust the systems and routines in our everyday lives and make the necessary changes to accommodate our higher purpose and fulfillment of our dreams. And then we have an opportunity to really break free from unhealthy past conditioning. Yeah. So that is that energy that is going on with those north nodes. And this moon is very, very much asset, supporter, a colleague, I'll say, in all of this. And the other thing I want to remind you of is a planetary alignment. It's rare, but we actually had one in 2024. Yeah, I believe it was in April or May. But this one occurred in January into February. And again, from our vantage point on the Earth, when you look through a telescope, you can actually see this lining up of the 7 planets. And it really includes us too, as the Earth. So the Earth and the 7 other planets all aligned up. And it's interesting because you won't find much from astrologers about this. But anybody who has any sense of cosmic awe and interest knows that this is a message. This is a big message. When things in the cosmos are doing something, we need to pay attention to it. And so you have here not just personal planets of Mercury and Venus and Mars lined up, but you got these big outer planets, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune. Yeah. Very, very fascinating, very important. And the personal planets, of course, are energies that affect us on a personal level. The outer planets are called more the collective energies. So that's for all of us on the planet. And the lining up, to me, the big message is that there is a cosmic order to things. And that things that seem to never be able to line up, because, all the planets are rotating around the sun at different degrees and different rates and different moods, So it's like, wow, they're lining up. How did that happen? Exactly. And so the cosmic message to us is, don't take God for granted. Don't think that God is not in charge. Okay. Yeah. Big message, big reminder. And so let me break down a little bit more, excuse me, of what I found about this Virgo, this full moon in Virgo. Spirit taking my voice. So before I talk about the lunar eclipse, I want to first talk about what does a full moon in Virgo mean? And so as it says here, full moon in Virgo in March, it's time to make those dreams a reality. Great time to take steps forward, valuing quality over quantity. And that is about us really, really knowing what is enough. To not be greedy, to not be doing things out of fear, but to really know what fulfillment and satiation really is. And that's the energy of the moon just in itself before the eclipse stuff. This is valuing quality over quantity, having those dreams, believing that your dreams can become a reality. Now, in Native American teachings, this lunation is called the worm moon. The Ojibwe call it the sugar moon, and there's other tribes that would have other names. But in essence, the spiritual meaning is to be prepared to take a big leap of faith and look toward your path forward with excitement and clarity. I love that. And it just so aligns with that astrological message about a full moon in Virgo with this dreams, time to make dreams a reality, going forward with excitement and clarity. Virgo is a sign about organization and, getting things lined up, getting things organized so that things can come to fruition, so things can happen. Also, this lunation in Virgo is trine Uranus, the planet of liberation in Taurus right now, and it's opposite Saturn, the planet of control, which is in Pisces. And Astro Butterfly has said, how do I cross my own metaphorical sea to arrive at my promised land? Yes, I love that. Love that. So there you go with the basic information about this full moon. Now let's jump into the eclipse messages. Yeah. Full moon in Virgo, total lunar eclipse. This is the first eclipse of the season, and it happens in Virgo. And this is the first time this eclipse has happened in Virgo since 2016. So you can think about where you were, what you were doing, what was going on for you in March of 2016. Yeah. This event reminds us of the importance of keeping our feet on the earth and brings unresolved issues to the surface. I'll repeat that. Keep your feet on the earth because it's going to bring unresolved issues to the surface while inviting us to release habits, behaviors, and ways of being that don't support our physical, mental, and spiritual health. Beautiful. This total lunar eclipse happens in the South Node, which offers an opportunity for deep emotional purging and inner work. In Virgo, it is an invitation to let go of patterns that keep us stuck in self-criticism, overthinking, and perfectionism. The full moon will tightly oppose Saturn in Pisces, highlighting where excessive rigidity, need for control, or avoidance of responsibility may be limiting our growth. And that information can be found on the website for Moon Omens under their March astrology forecast. And I just want to say that my voice went out, but I just want to say that, remember what the Virgo moon is representing, right? Like time for dreams to come true, to be able to move forward, to trust that process, right? And then this eclipse is giving us what needs to happen to make sure we can move forward into our dreams. Yeah. So it is such a delicious, combination of us getting, okay, here's what we need to be focusing on. We need to get to the new earth, but here's what has to happen in order for us to get there. Yeah. Yeah. It's just amazing. I can't stress that enough. Hello, Queen Amina. She says, peace, love, and light. Virgo sun here. Okay. There you go, Virgo. Get that stuff organized, get it going. That's how they roll. So here's a message from Astro Butterfly about this full moon in Virgo and the blood red moon. She says, first, it's a total eclipse and will create a blood red moon, which means it's much more intense than a partial eclipse. We are going to feel this one deeply. It's a South Node eclipse as well, meaning it's more outcome oriented, bringing resolutions that have been long in the making. This speaks about a systemic change or a disruptive outcome that was long overdue and inevitable. The House of Cards will collapse, and what was unstable will finally find a resolution. The eclipse is also loosely sextiling Mars, which is a positive signal of change. There may be no turning back from the path we've been on, but there's a whole new horizon ahead of us. That being said, things may not be entirely what they seem. Just one day after the eclipse, its ruler, Mercury, goes retrograde, almost like a cosmic wait a second moment, forcing us to reconsider or revise the situation. And that's from Astro Butterfly's March information. Now, I want to tell you, again, all of this energy, especially the blood red moon, is very powerful. And, from indigenous and ancient wisdom, the moon turning blood red, of course, was a huge sign of transformation. To the point where some believe that, our blood was being rewired, so how the blood was flowing through your body, your pulse rate was going to be shifting. This is big deal. It's like big deal stuff, like a portal opening up so that you're getting access to more of your higher consciousness, all those kinds of things, It also harkens in a new beginning and a transformation where something has to be let go, something has to die, something has to finish so that the new things can start. Yeah. So it's a very positive outcome that you want to be looking for while all this craziness and all this change is going on. Now, very interesting, but no coincidence that March 14th, when here in the Northern Hemisphere, we will be experiencing this total lunar eclipse. The blood red moon will be out. On that day is scheduled protests by veterans, at all the capitals around the United States, including in Washington, D.C. So it's going to be very interesting to see the impact that this all has. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Prayers, prayers, and more prayers, right? Absolutely. And then, as it said, on this next day, the 14th, when again the moon energy is still active, we get the retrograding of Mercury. And again, in Aries. Mercury retrograde in Aries tempers the fiery energy, prompting us to slow down and think before actively acting impulsively. Let us embrace this cosmic pause for an opportunity for mindful reflection amidst eclipse season and the assertive Aries influence. So it's kind of like this energy is going to be putting a brake on. What needs to be like, just slow down. Don't get too crazy. Don't get too wild. Don't get crazy. And this eclipse will last for about 23 days from March the 14th. This retrograde, will last 23 days from March the 14th to April the 7th. And as Mercury's shift of motion happens during the eclipse window, the need for a major shift in perception is emphasized. The invitation for us is to reassess how we perceive reality, communicate, and think. This retrograde encourages us to pause before speaking or sharing our thoughts and be particularly mindful of any impulses to act or speak hastily. Yeah. So I can't emphasize this enough. This is about chill. Take a chill. Believe that it's all going to be okay. You don't have to turn yourself into a monster just because other people are being crazy. Really trust the process, and control what you really have control over, which is yourself. Like, do my reality check. What's going on for me? Where am I at? What do I need to do to grow and heal so I can get to my dreams, to my better reality? Yeah, that's the work of it. Hey, Daphne. Daphne says, wow. Yeah, thank you. It is a big wow what is going on. And then, as we come out of that, the final aspect that I want to share on this same day, which is the Sun in Pisces sextiling Uranus in Taurus. A day of unexpected opportunity. Create your own magic today by getting out and letting the day unfold naturally. Put yourself out there and say yes to propositions and invitations. It's also a great day to work on a tangible, creative project. Whoop! Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. So again, like what's been happening really since last year, we'll get this burst of, really powerful energy that could pull us off, our game, could pull us off our center. And then we also get this sweet flow energy, that is telling us, create your own magic, stay in your higher timeline, trust the process, know that things eventually are going to be okay. And that is the truth. That's how the universe does work. So I really hope that this information has been of service to you. I will be coming back and not on my scheduled Sunday. So I'll do it in the middle of the week, probably by next week. I might do it on a Saturday, but I want to give you the astrology for March 15th into March 31st, so that you also have that. And yeah, what can I say? We're just in a very, very challenging time, but I also believe it's very promising because there's so much that is transforming, so much of what the universe is saying to us. Let it go. Move on to what is really going to make the difference, what is really real. Yeah. So many blessings to you. Be well, be safe. And I'll see you back next week where I will be sharing our third annual commitment, collective commitment, which is all about transcending this fear. Yeah. And Daphne said, hey. And Tracy says, great insight and advice. Thank you, Jojo Maria and Saroma. Thank you, Tracy, and others for tuning in. I love you all so much. Keep that wisdom walking going. And yeah, we're going to get through this and we're going to be okay. Hey, Hector, love you. Bye-bye now. You're welcome, Daphne.